I just finished my second year of college and I decided that this summer I'm going to be staying in my college town instead of going back home and living with my parents. Originally, I was going to do the same thing last year after my freshman year of college, but I decided not to because I had to find a place to live in between my two leases of the dorm and my apartment. And I was originally going to do a job that didn't end up working out. So there are a lot of things that just fell out of place and it didn't make sense. So I went back and lived with my parents. I do think that was a good decision though. And why I think if you're wondering if you should stay in your college town, I would definitely recommend if you just finished your freshman year that if you have the ability to go and live back home, just because when you finish your freshman year, you haven't fully entered the adulting life yet. You didn't live in an actual apartment. You didn't have to worry about grocery shopping because you had the dining hall. You didn't have to worry about cooking for yourself and figuring out food, stuff like that. And once that comes and you've fully mastered that, going back home feels even more difficult because you're like, oh, I'm an adult now. Like I have my own responsibilities. I have my own freedom. And going back home after that is a lot different than going back home after your freshman year. Which is why I decided this year to not go home because I have a lot of responsibilities. I've learned how to be more independent for myself. I also have a couple responsibilities and jobs here as well. I'm doing content creation, and while it's sometimes more difficult because my college town is a lot smaller, it also makes more sense because I have more ability to, for example, film this video. And also my job, I do social media for my university's College of Business, and that's a lot easier to be near campus. Even though I don't have to be in my college town to keep working, I think it's easier. My second main reason why I decided to not go home is because I have grown so much as a person in the last year and a half. And going back to my hometown with my parents, when I'm there for a long time, I start to feel like I'm going back to the high school version of myself, which I'm not gonna lie, I do not vibe with. Like, I love seeing my high school friends, I love hanging out with my family, but when I'm just around that environment and that vibe, I just really feel like I'm in high school again. And I am so different from my high school self that I don't really want to feel like that anymore. And I'm sure some of you guys can agree with me. When you go to college, you change so much, and sometimes going back to your hometown, you feel like you're just going backwards, and it just doesn't exactly feel right. So that's the two main reasons why I decided. So I think if you're thinking about if you want to stay in your college town, first of all, think about kind of the reasons I stayed, and if you have similar things, it would probably make sense to stay in your college town. But also, if you have friends that are staying in your college town, maybe friends that you made and you want to be closer with, but you haven't had a lot of time to spend with them, summer is perfect. Two of my friends I've been hanging out with over summer, I very briefly met them at the end of the school year, but they're staying over summer, so I've been hanging out with them more, and that builds friendships so much quicker because you don't have anyone else to hang out with. So you're like, dude, let's go grab lunch for the third day in a row. And you end up making friends that you probably maybe wouldn't make over the school year. Obviously, if you have careers or jobs or internships in your college town that you're really excited to get the opportunity to maybe do, and you get those, probably you're gonna stay in your college town. And then also what I've learned specifically that I kind of wasn't expecting, I, for example, am really extroverted with my friends. I love hanging out with people pretty much all day long, but with this, because I have less friends in town, it definitely is a lot slower. There are days that I don't hang out with anyone and it's just me all day. It was actually pretty funny. I was at the grocery store the other day and someone probably like grandpa age was talking to me and he was like, hey man, like thank you for the conversation. Like I really appreciate having someone to talk to today. And it was pretty funny because he probably thought I didn't care to talk to him at all, but he was my main social interaction of the day as well. So he made my day as much as I made his, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, you do definitely have a lot less social interaction, obviously, than when college is completely full. But also there are people who totally like that, and that's a bonus to them as well. I think I made the right decision for me staying in my college town. Obviously, there are some times I'm like, dude, I really wish I was hanging out with my high school friends right now. But majority of the time, I'm like, yeah, this is different, but I think it's right for me. So let me know, are you guys staying in your college town right now over summer? Are you thinking about what you're gonna do next summer? Let me know in the comments because I wanna hear what your guys' experiences are. This is my first video in a while and I kind of messed it up twice. The first time was recording the wall the entire time and the second time my mic wasn't on. But with that being said, remember, don't gamble, swipe on TikTok, not dating apps, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Since I was a kid, since I was a kid, since I was a kid, dog, I knew this life won't fail. I ain't gonna lie, I lost my dog, stop saying prayers. How bad little bitch live in your pocket like a square. Long live my angel. All the Reese, all of my cousin work.